YouTube is live of me drinking water.
Okay. I've remembered to start the ice cast machine this week as well.
I was gonna go. I was
Um,
gonna ask you about
Yep,
that.
that is a good idea.
Hey,
I
that's an
haven't started the
interesting
stream.
sound effect. Listen to this. I'm talking to you from inside the bottle.
Okay.
Good
That's
old,
not bad actually. I've heard worse sound effects.
good old Filzer.
Yeah.
I'm on the water. And on drugs, flu medication. Shit.
Hey, well, nothing wrong with water and drugs, man. Okay, I'm starting the ice cast
If it
now.
helps me get through the show,
Aha! Sorry, I'm just checking the level there. That's why I went aha very loudly.
Aha!
Yeah. Ice is up. Sorry, Icecast is up.
Okay.
It should be on now.
I am also recording.
I haven't started the recorder yet.
And I'll have to mute from time to time, and then you have to fill.
Okay.
Because I'll have to do this.
Okay. Very smooth. Are you now sponsored by Octoprint, by the way? I noticed Are you taking the sponsorship on the mic now? Are you not telling me?
People gave me a sticker. I'm not taking money.
Oh, okay. I quite like Octoprint, so that's fine. It's just
me as well. I like the
interesting.
logo. The logo is ace.
Yeah, the logo is very good.
It is an open source project, so I'm just helping her out.
That's cool. That's cool. Okay, let me grab my water from next door.
Let me just state for the record that she hasn't given me anything in return, just in case Katie's listening.
Oh, I think he's too quick to deny. I think the guilty conscience. Okay, give me 1 second to grab my water, and then let's start this.
Just grabbing a water. God, I feel like shit. I hope I can get through this show. Bloody hell. Too much cocaine, I'm telling you. It's not good for your nose, kids. Don't do cocaine. Do it Dan's way. Go with the natural drugs. I went the wrong way. Well, I suppose cocaine's also natural, isn't it? Well, go with the drugs you can grow yourself. Well, I suppose you could probably grow. What's that plant called in English? I don't know. What is that? What is that plant called? I don't know. Why is it? What? Oh, wait. I have. Oh yeah, coca leaf. Right, that's right. That's the IRC to the rescue with the drugs. I'm also having problems with my. I can't set the topic. For some reason. Why can't I set the? Why can't I? Yeah, I was talking about cocaine. I was saying don't do it, kids.
All right. Okay.
Now I can set the topic. If you get the right syntax, it works. As with almost everything in computing.
Mm-hmm.
You fuck up the syntax, you're fucked.
Pretty much.
Anyway, we can start the show whenever you want.
Yeah, let's do it because it's getting late.
Are
so
you recording?
I'm not. That would be a good idea.
Making sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I am now recording.
Okay, I'll start this off then.
Mm-hmm.
Linux Outlaws is proudly sponsored by Bytemark UK. Check out their Big V platform for all your web hosting needs. Find out more at bytemark.co.uk. Six Gun Productions. New media, new rules.
The mark today.
Somebody got some cocaine for me. I need some cocaine. Hey, my nose is clogged up from the lack of the cocaine. I have been having it, and now I got like this sinus thing going on. I can't get rid of it.
I totally shot one of my nostrils.
Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of Linux Outlaws from Isernhagen in Germany, where it's hot as hell, it's like 39 degrees, humid as fuck, and I'm still battling the flu. I'm Fab.
Hello everyone, this is Dan, and I'm coming to you from a not slightly as hot, but still quite hot, Liverpool in the UK, which I believe is about 30 degrees, which is hot enough for me. And and we're very welcome to another Linux Outlaws. This is number 354. I had to think about that. We've got all kinds of stuff to talk about, as usual, bits of news and politics stuff, and then obviously bits of Linux stuff and open source stuff as well. Some emails, some feedback to get through, which I think we skipped last time.
Some German news.
Some German news. Das German news. Yeah. So that'll be good. It's quite late on on the Monday night for us. It's the 21st of July as we're recording this. I have to apologise if I sound half asleep more asleep than usual during this one. I was on the road at 6 this morning driving hours and hours. So I know that's not, it's not a record as far as earliness goes, but it is for me considering
for it is. That's why
it was like it's like a 13-hour day of
6 o'clock in the morning for Dan is like 3 o'clock for me.
Yeah, probably. So I ended up doing like 13 hours of 6 hours driving and then 5 hours teaching, which basically involves standing up for 5 hours. So that was fun. But I'm here, I'm alive, and Fab's still got his cold apparently.
The thing I did the classic thing where you get a virus infection, you get the actual flu. And then because it kills your immune system, you don't get rid of it quickly enough. You get bacterial infection on top of it.
Nice.
The sinuses, and I've been doing this now. I've never had this. I've started doing this like 2 years ago, I think, and then I've had it at least once a year, which is horrible. I mean, people will know because it's horrible when you're doing a podcast.
It is pretty bad, yeah.
I was on the shower like 20 minutes ago, just basically blowing water through my nose for like 10 minutes, which hurts, but it kind of clears the nose. I hope I can do the show. It's it
does help clear the nose, you get those Indian things. I had one, the neti pot thing, which is like a teapot almost. It's like a little pot that you put water in, and then it's got like this thing that goes in your nose, and then you're supposed to tip it up, and like the water flows from one side of your nose to the other, and then you're supposed to do it the other way. I had one for a while. It's quite helpful if you've got a cold, but it feels like you're drowning. There's a sensation. It says on it, warning, there is a sensation like drowning, and drowning's not a lot of fun. So
it's kind of like waterboarding yourself. I'm doing one more hardcore. I'm going with the water hose, fire hose in the nose, which is more quick. It hurts a bit more though, I think. Anyway, I got myself patched up. It's getting better now. The problem is it's like it's been for days here. It's been like really hot, 36 degrees to 38 or 39, and it's humid as fuck. Yesterday we had one of those thunderstorms. It's like a massive thunderstorm, but it's all dry. It's like 2 drops of rain and everything moved past, and afterwards it was still as humid. It's kind of like the weather version of a huge internet troll thing. Horrible. Trolling storm clouds or something.
As far as rain goes, it's a bit more like constipation. I was thinking, it's like weather constipation, or whatever the equivalent is. I don't know.
Troll clouds.
So you're drinking water, and I've actually got water with me. I'm just finishing. I have to confess, I'm just finishing this beer that I got before.
I was gonna say you were saying you were gonna get water, and then during the intro you're drinking,
for people watching the video,
something that looks suspiciously like a Heineken.
Well, when I said water, I meant beer, obviously. No, it's not actually. It's Kronenberg. Yeah. But I don't think it's the actual real Kronenberg. It's some cheap stuff that my dad got in front.
What do you mean? Kronenberg is cheap stuff.
Yeah, kind of, but it doesn't. It's not got. I don't know. I don't think it's got the proper label on it, to be honest. But
show me the label.
Yeah, I don't think you won't be able to read that from there.
Oh yeah, no, that looks like Kronenberg. Yeah.
All right, because we have stuff with a different label here that's Kronenberg.
It's probably exported. You'll probably have
exported. Cheap. Yeah, it's cheap French lager for export only.
Isn't that Belgian?
Belgian lager for export only.
I have to look that up. I can't get this wrong.
Mhm.
I'm Kronberg.
1660.
Strasbourg, yes. It's from Strasbourg.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's
I love this. Kronberg Brewery is a brewery founded in 1664 by Geronimus Hatt in Strasbourg. At the time, a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire.
Wow.
No, France. Okay, you were right, France.
Yeah.
But it was a free imperial city of the Holy Roman Empire. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, there's not much beer talk in Star Wars. Not enough beer talk, anyway. Yeah, so
Why
I
do you
thought it was
think
fun.
Darth Vader has a helmet?
What, because he drinks a lot of beer? I don't know
He
how.
has to pump the beer through,
Ah,
so,
really?
so that nobody
Like a beer bong or something? Maybe.
built in.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe that's what it is. Certainly, his voice is pretty fucked up. It sounds more like he's been drinking like some very harsh liquor, listening to his voice. Some moonshine, anyway. And maybe smoking too much as well, judging by his breathing. Anyway, so yeah, we've got some stuff to talk about as always. So let's crack on. First up,
speaking of
sad news.
sci-fi, yes, Austrian actor Dietmar Schönherr has died, and you probably won't know him, but I'm fond of a very early German sci-fi series from actually 1966.
Wow.
Predated Star Trek. I've talked about it on the show before. Raumpatrouille Orion.
Hmm.
It's incredibly funky or cheesy, depending on, well, it's from the 60s. Like when one part of it's famous in Germany as the ironing board in space, because a part of the main console is literally an iron.
Nice.
It's quite cool. He was a great guy. He plays this badass commander. I wrote a little blog post about him passing. And there's this quote from the very first episode begins with him like just calling the HQ. The HQ keeps calling his starship and keeps telling him to turn around, right? And then he goes, HQ, just to prove my theory that you can land on this planetoid, whatever. I'm landing on the planetoid now. This was the Orion out. And then they land on that thing. It's
and it's all right, presumably.
yeah. He was a great guy. He turned 88 years old.
Whoa, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
that's pretty good going. James Garner died this week as well, which which we haven't actually put in the notes, but it made me think of it. Yeah, he was in his 80s as well, I believe, or maybe even early 90s.
Put that in the notes.
Yeah, I liked him. I thought he was a good actor. I mean, obviously, The Great Escape, I liked him in that, but he's in lots of things. The Rockford Files, he was quite good in as well. And he was in many other things. Famously, he was the scrounger in The Great Escape, so he was the guy who went around kind of getting all the bits that they needed. And he was the one who ended up with Donald Pleasance, who was to play the blind guy who they escape in a plane, but then it doesn't really work.
I really liked him as well. He turned 86, I think.
Okay, 86, yeah. So, yeah, sad news again.
Too many good people are dying.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. Maybe it's the heat. You think it's the heat? No, maybe not. They do say the heat causes all kinds of problems.
You're saying it's heat?
It's not heat. No, I didn't. Well, maybe.
Killing people?
Maybe he's left Darkest Yorkshire with his sniper rifle in tow.
He was in the military, wasn't he? Was he like special forces?
Maybe. I'm going to resist the jokes about sniper rifle because he's
like SAS, isn't he?
Yeah.
Pete, if you're listening to this, write into the show and answer us this question: what color is the boathouse in Hereford? And anybody who gets this reference gets extra credit.
I know it, but I won't say because that'll ruin it. Yeah. So I was resisting the jokes about he's a Yorkshireman. Famously, Yorkshiremen are quite tight with their money, and I was thinking a sniper rifle because he wouldn't pay for more than one bullet. So that was just my cheap joke there. Hang on, I just checked my windows are shut. As the
red dot on your forehead.
Yeah. What's that? Oh, I'm now Hindu. I forgot to mention. Yeah, James Garner died this week as well, which is very sad. Meanwhile, we were talking about the NSA logos and stuff recently, and how amazing it looks. And yeah, you've done a tattoo design based on that.
I've been designing a tattoo for ages, and I just last night I couldn't sleep because it was so hot. I was like, I can't do anything, so I set up my Wacom tablet again in preparation for doing some Occamp design stuff as well. And so I thought, why not build this in? And yeah, I think it fits quite well. I changed it a little bit, but
yeah, we'll put there's a link in the show notes so people can see the picture that we're talking about. So go and have a look at it while we're talking about it. Otherwise, you're just going to get bored, pissed off with us going, look at that! Oh, that's amazing. But it looks cool. I like the Ace of Spades kind of thing going on as well.
Yeah, I had that in the beginning. Basically, I just put the feather and the key in.
Is that Latin at the bottom there?
Yep.
And what is it? I can't read it. Periculum?
Periculum in mora means, oh god, I don't even know what that means in English.
Yeah. Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's
fish and chips. No.
No, it's a famous phrase because it's used in legal things. So it has a Wikipedia entry. Danger and delay.
Oh, okay. Interesting. We'll put, again, another link for the show notes there, possibly.
Well, if you know, there's a historical scene in German history, and people might know that I've done some Bismarck in university where this crops up. If you know, as with the reference earlier, write in or go to the saloon, saloon.sixgun.org, and brag with your knowledge if you're the first to figure out where this crops up in German history.
Okay. Yeah, danger in delay. I like it. Yeah. Very cool. So something that's not very cool that happened in the last week is we talked a while ago about Ukraine and the whole situation there with Russia and Ukraine and so on, and that's still going on. Meanwhile, the rest of the world's been distracted by like the World Cup and other shit while this stuff carries on. But this week there was a very high profile situation when a flight from Amsterdam was a Malaysian Airlines flight was shot down. Well,
17.
Yeah, was basically, I mean, shot down. It looks like by who knows, Russian separatists possibly. Sorry, not Russian separatists, Ukrainian separatists, but we don't know. Basically, a lot of people are blaming Putin and kind of pointing fingers at Putin.
I mean, first of all, this airline is having a bad track record this year.
I would never get on one of their planes. I just wouldn't.
Well, interestingly, one of the Dutch people who died apparently tweeted a photo for getting on the plane. If we get lost, this is what the plane looks like.
Oh no.
Which in hindsight isn't very funny. Interesting enough, this is also a Boeing 777-200, like the other Malaysian flight that was lost. The Boeing 777 had a very, very good track record until last year, when first the thing in San Francisco happened. You know, when the back part of the plane basically fell off because they landed short on the runway. Then Malaysia lost that other plane, and now this, and it's been in service since '95, that model of plane, and it's been one of the very safest plane models until this point. I'm gonna put a link in the show notes with some of the intro. I can also very much recommend AV Herald. The Aviation Herald has a lot of information. I think it's pretty sure that Russian separatists shot this down. The leader of the militia there was bragging on VKontakte, it's like the Russian Facebook, about the rebels having shot down an Antonov transport plane, which all references to this in several places got deleted after they figured out that they probably shot down a civilian airplane, so that it looks like it was them. This is actually, oh god, what are they called again? Let me just look this up. This is actually on the BBC side. I thought this was very apt. If you look like what the separatists the oh, what was this? Damn. For- God, I've put too many
Meanwhile-
articles in this.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Hang on, people. We'll be back. We'll
well,
be with you shortly.
I'll get this. It's well, basically, these rebels are known to have liberated. They raided a Ukrainian army base,
Right.
and they stole a number of missile
Okay.
SAM batteries. Called the NATO name for them is Gadfly.
Mm.
Or they're also called Buck. And apparently, this Buck surface-to-air missile. Apparently, it was shot down with one of those. The Americans say they have infrared satellites, and they track the missile in the vicinity of the plane, so it seems pretty sure. It's Buck M12, they're called. Or in the West, they're usually known as Gadfly. They're like these SA-11 Gadfly. They're like these things from the Soviet era, from the 80s.
That's interesting because a lot of people are largely pointing fingers at Putin, for example, saying that he's supplying weapons to these people. It sounds like maybe if he wasn't. They still needed to get other bits as well. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Some people are saying they gave them to us, but they also these rebels said a week or two before that they've liberated some of these from the airbase. Also, what's really puzzling about this is that I don't think the rebels wanted to shoot down that plane. I think they were shooting.
They were aiming for a transport plane, yeah.
Because
a military
shooting this down, if you see everything, there's some leaked, intercepted phone calls apparently from the Russian intelligence services, where they we don't know if they're genuine, but where they're like, oh shit, we shot down a civilian plane, and this doesn't help them. This helps more the people who want, like the Ukrainian government, the people who want to blame the separatists.
Yeah.
This also doesn't help Putin. And usually these rocket systems, they are this Buck Gadfly thing is a passive rocket. So this has a radar unit on it. It's a truck with like 4 rockets on the back. Has a radar unit, and the radar pings the target. Then you launch a rocket, and the rocket detects. It's a passive rocket. It only detects the reflections from the target. So the truck is actually painting the target. And these systems usually have IFF identification things that prevent them from shooting down civilian aircrafts.
Yeah.
They recognize the squawk codes from civilian aircrafts, and then they're not shot down. So either they turned this off on purpose or by accident. I'm guessing by accident. There's some theories that the SAM batteries they stole apparently were also damaged. So maybe they couldn't fix them properly. Now, what I was talking about earlier, these people, these rebels are called the Donbass People's Militia, and I just kept calling them the damn ass militia because, I don't know, confusing a 777 with an Antonov AN-26 is quite a feat, and they do themselves a favor with this. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we should mention that by the time people hear this on the podcast, there'll probably be lots of other news out about this. But this is a rapidly kind of developing story. Investigators are trying to get to the scene now, and they've been given access apparently by the local militias and stuff. How much free access they'll get and how much like messing with the scene has happened already, we don't know. But there may well be a lot more news on this by the time people hear it. We should mention, of course, that the passenger plane was a passenger plane. Obviously, 298 deaths apparently, and
it's the biggest aircraft disaster since 9/11.
Yeah, so obviously, it's a really, really sad time for anyone, relatives and friends and stuff of anyone involved, and just such a mindless thing, it's not the first time this has happened, but it hasn't happened in a long time. But there was a Chinese plane that was shot down on its way to Hong Kong, I seem to remember, over Russia, sometime in the 80s, and yeah, that was during the Cold War still.
I actually, there was a guy I knew at school whose dad was on the plane that got shot, and that was the same thing. But they reckoned in that case what had happened is that there was like an American plane trying to use the commercial flight to hide behind, which is what they used to do, probably still do, to hide behind the civilian plane, and the Russians shot down the civilian plane.
Korean Airlines?
Yeah, sorry, Korean it might have been.
Korean Airlines flight 007?
Yeah, 007. That's an unfortunate number. It was. I think it was going to Hong Kong.
Airlines Boeing 747 civilian airliner shot down by a Soviet Su-15TM fighter on 1st of September 1983 near Moneron Island. 269 passengers and crew, including U.S. Congressman Larry McDonald, were aboard Cal 009.
Yeah, I mean, I only know about that so well because there was a guy at my school whose dad was on that plane. He was Chinese and he was on his way to Hong Kong. And obviously I was only like 3 then, so I wouldn't have known about it at the time, but later on we found out.
There was a pilot error and they diverted course.
Oh, into the wrong airspace.
Yeah.
Still, pretty
also
extreme.
There is a very famous Iran Air Flight 655. Which is a commercial flight operated by Iran Air to Dubai. Towards the end of the Iran-Iraq War, the aircraft was shot down by U.S. Navy Ticonderoga class guided missile cruiser USS Vincennes when it fired a RIM 66 standard surface-to-air missile. This is actually one of the big things why the Iran hates the U.S. so much. Because they this is actually very interesting. They thought that plane was an F-14. This is very interesting. A lot of the stuff the Americans blame on the separatists now that they don't give access to the wreckage and they're trying to obscure stuff actually happened with this as well.
Yeah,
except it was the Americans in this.
I mean, I don't think any. Yeah, well,
there's quite a lot of planes, airliners that are shot down. Seems to be a good Wikipedia article on this. I'm going to put one in the show notes.
We'll probably, as I said, we'll probably talk about it as more news develops. I'm convinced that by the time that people hear this on the podcast, there'll probably be a lot more.
I'm not quite sure that there's so much. I don't understand the whole thing with, they're obscuring. Well, I understand with like they don't let us get to the bodies. The problem that the Dutch have, I completely understand that. They're kind of mistreating the bodies apparently and not letting people
looting as well as accusations of them looting stuff.
I don't get the whole they're obstructing like the crime scene, whatever, because this plane disintegrated in the air. Like if there's interviews with people that live in that area from Ukraine, that basically that village, apparently the wreckage is strewn over 15 square kilometers, and there were basically bodies falling from the sky on their houses and into their yards. So I don't think you can really tell by the wreckage. I mean, what if this was a surface-to-air missile or a bomb or whatever. But I think with the Americans having infrared, I mean obviously this area, the East Ukraine, is under heavy military attention. Even before this, so I'll imagine there were a lot of spy satellites over there, like looking at this area. I'm pretty sure the Russians know what's going on, and I'm pretty sure the Americans know as well. If you heard what Cheney and Obama have said, it sounds like they're very sure that this was shot down. I think the people just don't know who fired the rocket, but from everything I've seen, it looks like there was this dumb ass militia people.
Yeah, mistaken target or whatever. Incredibly sad story, as we said, and anyway, I think another sad story, although only involves one death, as far as we know.
This is German news.
This is German news. That's German news. Yeah.
Yeah. Also not that sad. Karl Albrecht has died. He's the last surviving Aldi founder. The Albrecht brothers were 2 guys who founded Aldi. And Karl Albrecht died in Essen a few days ago. He turned 94 years old. His brother
Wow,
died.
that's very
His
impressive.
brother died a few years ago. 88
Didn't
years
they
old.
fall? Is it true that they fell out and that's why Lidl was set up?
No.
Or didn't one of the brothers go and set up another store or something because they weren't happy?
No. Karl Albrecht is probably Germany's richest man. The other brother, I think his name was Theodor. He was the second richest. They were pretty much the same. No, what they did is they divided Aldi in Germany is two parts. If you look at the Wikipedia article of Aldi, it kind of explains it. It's two parts. It's Aldi North and Aldi South. Aldi South is the orange one. Aldi North is blue. So you in the UK, you'll know the orange one because basically all your stores belong to Aldi South. Because when first they divided Germany and then when they spread into Europe, they also divided the countries of Europe. Lidl was just founded later on the same principle. So basically, this guy, I'll put a picture in the show notes. He and his brother took over his mother's general store. And there's a picture of the store in the 30s, 1930, in Essen. And they basically invented discount
the
stores.
supermarket model, basically, yeah.
Yeah, not really the supermarket model. They invented the cheap supermarket, the discount supermarket model. So their idea was just keep costs down. Like they were the first, they dispensed with shelving. They dispensed with nice display of wares. They just basically sold the wares out of the boxes they got them in and stuff like that. So they're very famous for that.
Yep. So as they would say on Hollywood Babylon, huge bucket of win there, I think. Richest man in Germany must have been doing right.
Yes, very,
and
very
94 as well. That's pretty good going.
Billionaires, both of them.
So we'll put links in the show notes if you want to find out more. Is this more German news? Yeah, Berlin, maybe?
Yes, more
BSI.
German news. German spy news. The BSI apparently has set up special cell towers in the government district of Berlin. They're in-house towers, and they're supposed to prevent the phones of government executives dialing into fake cell towers. There's suspicion that the NSA in the US embassy has their own, or the CIA has their own cell towers. Until a few weeks ago, there was a very suspicious white cylinder on top of the UK embassy, which I'll put a picture. I have a picture of, and I'll put in the show notes. And this is very close to the Bundestag, to the Reichstag's building. So if you set up a fake cell tower there, you can just hijack people's calls, basically. And GSM is so shit that if you put up a fake cell tower, the police keeps doing this. Is it called Stingray systems?
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we? About the fake cell tower thing. Didn't Howard Velter talk about this quite a bit?
He's been looking into this for the CCC for years. And so now they've installed like their own cell towers. But they should probably get important communication of GSM altogether, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine so. It's not very secure. Well, I guess we'll see what happens there. All right, and into the actual Linux news then, tech news. We got some releases. Debian, everyone's favorite Linux distro. Well, maybe not my favorite Linux distro, one of them. 7.6 was released. So it's the sixth update to Debian 7, which was Wheezy.
Roll-up fixes.
Yeah, more security releases, security advisories, blah, blah, blah. Where are we? It says, please note this update does not constitute a new version of Debian 7, but only updates some of the packages included. Okay. So if anyone was in was unsure what this meant, it is just security fixes and stuff. But it's very cool. I mean, if you are installing a new Debian system, you don't want to have to do six releases worth of updates. So you can get yourself the latest version. and save a lot of downloading. It says those who frequently install their updates from security.debian.org won't have to update many packages, and most updates from security.debian.org, and he said .debian.org.
You're inventing distributions live on the show.
Yeah. I think if Evan Moglin ever releases a Linux, it should be called Ebian. Ebian.
Ebian.
Yeah. So it says most of the updates are already in there if you regularly update your system anyway. But good to keep on top of that stuff. So everyone loves Debian, as I said. FreeBSD, we got some BSD stuff. FreeBSD 9.3 has been released. I've said lots of times that I would try various different versions of BSD. I never actually got round to it. Probably never going to happen. For that mythical day when I've got nothing else to do but try FreeBSD. I don't know. I was going to try. If I remember rightly, I was going to try PCBSD at the time, which is based on FreeBSD. But FreeBSD very popular. I know a few people who run this on their servers.
Well, this is the stable version. 10 is the version currently for people who want stable software, who want new software. One of the big things here is they have removed all of the hardware random number generators after the Snowden revelations and use of the NSA probably messing with these. And they say if you need them, you should use them in you should actually use software RNGs, or you should use them in combination with a random number generator called Yarrow, which was developed in part by Bruce Schneier. But there's also a successor out called Fortuna. Yeah.
Cool.
So that random bumper.
In a world gone mad. We live in a world gone mad. We live in a world gone mad.
Is it looped? Is it looped? Is it meant to this? I was going to say.
No, it's not. Damn it. Okay. No random bumper then.
Oh, right, okay.
I managed to break the random bumper.
You managed to loop it. Meanwhile, we got more release stuff. KDE have released Plasma 5.0. Plasma is if I remember rightly, the desktop widget kind of system that they use. It says they proudly announced the immediate availability of Plasma 5.0, providing a visually updated core desktop experience that is easy to use and familiar to the user.
Is it me, or does this look like iOS 7? It's probably just the wallpaper, though.
Let me just. I'm loading the screenshot. Hold on. I haven't really used iOS 7, so I can't say. Not being an Apple person.
You've seen it.
I've seen macOS plenty, and it doesn't look much like that. But you're talking about iOS specifically.
7. Google iOS 7.
Hold on. While you try and fix that bumper.
Sorry, yeah. No, what it is, I keep typing on the wrong keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Which obviously breaks things.
Images. There we go. I'm just looking up now. Images. Color scheme. You reckon? Maybe the background. I mean, the desktop or whatever is quite similar. Let's just go back. I'm trying to flick between the two. A little bit, maybe. Yeah, the background. I think the desktop, but I don't know. It actually, looking at this, it looks more like whatever this version of Android is that I'm looking at on the screenshot as well. It's got the same kind of angular kind of triangle stuff going on in the background. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the actual story. Let me get back to that. Here we go. Yes, sorry. So they've released version 5.0. Major changes include an updated and modernized, cleaner visual interface. Okay, so they've redone the design basically. A new Breeze theme, which has high contrast, flat theme for the workspace, is available in light and dark variants. Smoother graphics performance thanks to an updated graphics stack. Plasma's user interfaces are now rendered on top of an OpenGL and OpenGL ES scene graph. Offloading many of the computational intensive rendering tasks, presumably to your GPU, whatever you're on. It says this allows higher frame rates and smoother graphics. I don't know. I mean, neither of us really use KDE, and I know lots of people listening love KDE and they'll get upset. But really,
and I kind of liked it, and then I got fed up with it.
I've never disliked it that much. It's just I prefer GNOME, and even though people bitch about GNOME 3, I still quite like GNOME 3, particularly the cinnamon variation and stuff, which is much more to my taste, if you like, on Mint and stuff. So I just use cinnamon mostly on most of my things. But it's okay. It is a good desktop, KDE, and I know people will be screaming that we should love it more than we do. But there's a new Plasma out now. I'm just trying to see if it says anything else other than hardware acceleration has been improved, and they've done a new theme. So basically, what I take from that announcement is they've done a new theme and they've improved the graphics.
There's also lots of minor fixes.
Oh, okay.
If you click through the link.
Announcement.
That's the main thing. They they changed some artwork and stuff, but
there's a video
they
as well.
also changed the shell.
Converged plasma
with
shell.
Other user experiences. They changed the way the launchers work. They changed the workflow of the notification area. Yeah. And
better support for high density displays.
Yeah. In other words, 4K displays.
Fully hardware accelerated graphics stack. Blah blah blah. Actually, there's a video here. I'm just watching. So if you are listening to this, click on, oh shit, there's some sound coming off it. Sorry.
Yeah, we are listening to it now.
Sorry, I didn't mean for that to come out. Yeah, so there's a video there about the experience, which is quite interesting. Which shows you how it runs. Presumably, this is on a really fucking fast computer for the demo video. I would imagine.
Because it's KDE, you need a really fucking fast computer.
Yeah, possibly. It looks quite nice. Looks quite slick. So if you want to watch the video, click through the news story on the notes for this show, and you can find it there. Speaking of graphics and so on.
Gone mad when Linux Outlaws is on time. You can go fuck yourself.
Sorry, I stepped on Jezra there. I'd forgot. I haven't heard that in so long. I'd forgotten that it carries on. We weren't on time tonight, really, so that doesn't really apply. Anyway, so yeah, speaking of graphics and so on, the X server, Xorg, they released a new version 1.16.0. They have got apparently Glamour integration, which sounds interesting. Unfortunately, it's not like naked people and stuff like Glamour modeling. Glamour integration, it says, GL-based X acceleration subsystem, blah blah blah, offers reasonable performance. Well, thanks for that. It now offers reasonable performance. X Wayland, apparently, it says provides X server integration into Wayland. It uses Glamour for rendering. Okay, so I can see why that would be important. So it's relatively new. Systemd integration, they've improved. This provides Systemd-based launching and management, which improves boot performance. Elimination of thousands of compiler warnings. Okay, fair enough. Glamour for Zephyr, or Zephyr, I can't put it. This is X on X implementation.
Oh yeah, X on X implementation.
It's a Glamour X on X implementation.
That dirty X on X implementation.
Now serves as primary development environment. Okay, for our new 2D acceleration subsystem, permitting rapid development and testing on a single machine. Okay, so non-PCI device support apparently. It says many graphics devices are not enumerated with the standard PCI APIs. Now the X server can auto-detect and configure them as it does with more conventional systems. So there's been quite a few changes actually. That's just obviously a quick overview. So yeah, new things have happened with the X server. I'm sure we're all until Wayland takes over the world or attempts to take over the world, or Mia, which isn't likely to happen. I'm sure we're all pleased to know that the X server project. Yep. Okay. Other tech news. CNET. We got CNET hacked. CNET was hacked. Their website apparently.
CNET was hacked, and looks like a lot of their website source code was leaked.
What's it built in? Is it .NET?
No. It's PHP, which starts to explain where they were hacked.
Possibly.
Symfony. It's built in Symfony, and the leak, if you click in the show notes, I'll put a picture in there, which is actually for my work machine. includes some of the Git version history, which is interesting. So now I know how many developers work on their website and what they're kind of doing. Like if you look on the picture, you'll see.
You know, I'd really like to see from this. It would be obviously the code released and stuff. Obviously the code's out there now. Would be somebody get a job through like improving this code and going, by the way, you should probably do this, and then somehow getting a job by improving the code, and that would be nice. Yeah, they should just open source their site anyway, or use a proper open source system. Then they wouldn't have got all these problems. Well, I don't know. They could still got hacked, of course, but. The more worrying thing is that the database with all usernames and passwords was taken, and
and the hackers
that's
selling
more of a problem.
For a Bitcoin.
Right. How many users are on CNET? I don't think I have a CNET account. But on this news story, there's a login/join link, which I won't be clicking.
Over 1 million.
Really? Shit. Okay.
1.1 million. CNET is big, man.
I know, but I thought it was a news site. Why would I become a member of the news site?
No, 20. Well, no, that was the unique visitors. No, over 1 million. Comments, dude. Commentary.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to join just to comment. Okay.
Heise has about 500 million forum users.
Okay, fair enough.
Please don't attack Heise.
Yeah, now that you've said that, watch out for those Russian.
Well, our backend's not written in PHP. I can tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. It's written just purely in assembly.
I think a lot of it is Perl.
Really? Okay.
Actually, what Heise does is what you would do in this case. A lot of the website just isn't dynamic.
Okay.
Basically, it renders out news stories. It bakes them into HTML.
Oh, and then post and then upload.
That's a lot because we have lots of CDNs because we have lots of hits. So it just this does this as well, but apparently you could still hack into it. Yeah. Well, CNET this is CNET, so it's CNET according to CNET has had 27.1 million unique US visitors in June.
I mean, I know it's a popular site. I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, I've heard of it, but I've never thought of joining CNET. I think of it as a news site. I don't know. I suppose you're right. Forums would make sense. I used to occasionally, years ago, find links to software to download from CNET.
Yeah, software downloads. I mean,
but you never had to join to do any of that stuff.
News sites now have. Well, you want to rate that, and everything has sign-ups these days.
That's true. So if you do have an account on there, probably change your password or something. I like
the screenshot from this hacker. He posted on Twitter, which is showing off GNOME 3. And I think from the bookmarks there, I think that's Kali Linux. That's what Kali Linux looks like.
Yeah, it does look like it.
Because he's logged in as root. It's a very Kali Linux thing to do.
Yeah, it's
nice advertising there.
Yeah, obviously bad news for CNET, but they do seem to be kind of dealing with it reasonably well. Okay, so they, as you said, they've got some.
Nothing happened. Nobody took our source code. Don't worry.
So 1 Bitcoin, $622, not a lot of money, you would imagine. Although there can't be like credit card information and stuff on there. I wouldn't have thought.
Probably not.
Anyway, so
I was happy with looking through the source code. That was fun. As I wrote on Facebook, CNET now open source. Well, not open source as in the license, but the source is out there.
Yeah, I was going to say they could just step up and like own this thing by saying, look, let's just open source it, and then open source it as well.
Yeah,
they should do. It might as well. Everyone's seen it. Everyone's seen it now anyway. Seen it? No, sorry, doesn't matter.
Wait, where's the? Oh shit! I don't have the.
Oh dear.
I don't have the rim shot.
It's just you can't get the staff these days. You're firing a zinger and there you go. And there's nobody there. Get that drummer on. Get a new drummer. Anyway, speaking of hacking and stuff, Google are they're hiring hackers and stuff. They've hired George Hotz, or also known as Geo Hotz. We
Yep.
talked about. He did the PlayStation 3 hack famously.
Geo Hot. I think
Yeah,
Geo
hot.
Hots is something else. He's got the hots for Geo Hot.
He's got the hots for Geo Hotz. Yeah, he hacked, did many iPhone hacks and things as well. Yeah, they've hired him. They're doing something called Project Zero, Google's Project Zero,
Yep, that's what
which
it's
aims to reduce the threat that zero-day attacks represent, by funding vulnerability research and hiring top security specialists and hackers. The hiring of HOTS, therefore, is hardly a surprise.
Well, it's they've assembled quite a team. It's like their all-star hacker team. It's also, well, he was working for them before. Tavis Ormandy is part of this.
Ben
also,
Hawks?
Yeah, Ben Hawks, who's become known for hacking browsers lately. So basically what they want to do is they want to find 0 days. That's why it's called Project Zero.
Right,
And
okay.
they actually filed some 0 days they found under the name Project Zero before it was even official. Like the hackers that they are. Want to find these 0 days, and then they're going to contact the vendors and give them, like, I don't know, 60 days or something to fix it. And otherwise they publish them, but the goal is to get them fixed and then publish them in a database. That way they want to basically dry out that reservoir of 0 days that, like, criminals and intelligence services use.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that they sell in underground forums and stuff, and the NSA keeps so they can hack people, stuff like that.
It sounds like a noble project, noble idea for a project.
Basically, they want to do anything they can do to make the internet safer. I think is what they're saying. It's one of those Google things. Help the internet. Then
how does that help them sell ads? Because that's what they really want to do.
Well,
I don't know.
You know, lots of people get compromised through ad service and stuff. If they can make the internet safer, generally, then people are not that afraid to click on ads. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's not like a 10 people team is going to hurt Google much with their bottom line.
Oh, no, I don't think money-wise. I mean, God, even if they're on $1 million a day, maybe not $1 million a day.
PR.
Yeah, true. It is a good PR win. I imagine they're fairly well, what's the word, remunerated or paid. But still, I don't think, as you say, for a company the size of Google, it's not really going to matter.
Chris Speaker says when they're going to find 0 days in borrowing SSL, which is Google's SSL library. Well, the guy who does borrowing SSL, Imperial Violet, is pretty good at that. I think he does also have connections, and yes, I think they're going to look at that as well.
Well, they should do. I mean, they've got to test everything. Yeah. So speaking of vulnerabilities and fixing them and stuff, Apache, the Apache project, Apache web server. Sorry.
Apache.
Yeah, Apache web server. Amazing how many people don't know that. That's where the name comes from. Originally, it was Apache web server.
Desperately trying to make people forget that.
Yeah, they do seem to be. Yeah, they've fixed 5 vulnerabilities in their latest release of the web server, apparently including a buffer overflow and several denial of service vulnerabilities. Fixes for these flaws have landed in the developer release of the server, which is 2.4.10.
As of today,
dev.
2.4 was actually released. So
okay,
it's out.
So it's out now. Excellent. It says the buffer overflow vulnerability is rated moderate by the Apache Software Foundation, but it could be used for remote code execution under the right circumstances. Flaw lies in the way that Apache handles updating of mod status components. It's caused by a race condition, it says, and an attacker can exploit it without authentication. That's a bit worrying.
Well, but you need very special circumstances.
Yeah, it says they would need the right conditions to exploit this vulnerability. Probably good that they fixed it, though, I would imagine, and released the fix and stuff. So update your servers, any sysadmins. If you're listening to this and you're a sysadmin, you've probably done it already, to be honest. Especially if you're listening to the podcast like a week later or something. Hopefully you've done that by now.
Well, I'm not using Apache
I do.
on our server.
I've still got Apache on some things lying around. I still use it occasionally. I mean, I'm not sysadmin for any particularly important live servers, so thank God the internet can breathe a sigh of relief that I gave that up a while ago, because I clearly wasn't good enough at it. Speaking of SSL and so on, Linux kernel devs have created a new crypto function for the LibreSSL project, which is interesting.
Basically, the LibreSSL people have ported their library. Didn't we talk about that last show?
Yep, I think so.
Exactly, right. And so they ported it to other operating systems. And in doing so, they discovered something. When you fork a process on Linux, it gets the exact same PID.
Oh dear.
Well, that itself is not a problem, but you can, basically it's more complicated. But if you fork a process often enough, you can make the process get the same state. It's not only the PID, but you basically get the same state as the mother process, which, when you're generating random numbers, leads to the fact that both processes generate the same random numbers. Now, this means that one process can predict what's going to happen in the other process, encryption-wise, because it has the same random numbers.
Yeah.
Now, OpenSSL gets around this by kind of a dirty hack. And so somebody discovered that this LibreSSL on Linux has this problem. Contacted the LibreSSL devs. They said, well, we're not fixing this. We're not doing
they're BSD guys, yeah.
Well, we're not doing that dirty hack that OpenSSL did, because our mission is to get rid of hacks like this. And that's actually interesting, because it shows that a lot of these hacks actually are necessary when you are trying to support different architectures or different platforms.
Yeah.
And so they said, no, Linux kernel developers have to fix their bug. They have to fix this. This is a bug in the kernel. At this point, I thought, oh god, this is like Theo's guys, and this is just gonna they're pissing at the kernel, and the kernel developers are gonna piss back. No.
Do you know what it makes me think of? If you've seen Anchorman, which I'm sure most people have, that bit where the two news teams are having a fight, and it's like Team Jaguar versus whatever. Yeah. I imagine like Linus on one side with his guys, and then like Theo Durant on the other side in a car park, just like staring each other out.
Exactly. That's what I thought would happen. I thought they're gonna piss back the Linux developers, but no. Turns out Ted Cho actually says, yeah, kind of makes sense. Let's do this. So the smarter guys actually gave in. No cat fight, and they're gonna fix this. The problem is, it's gonna take a while until this. There's a patch, but it's gonna take a while. This is in the kernel. It's gonna take even longer until this is on production service. Might be years actually.
Yeah, I love Ted Cho. What a guy.
And it might be a decade or two till it's in Debian.
Debian stable, definitely. Well, good on Ted and the others out there. Yeah. He's a smart guy. He'll fix it.
I mean, come on. This gave us. I was looking at this and it's like, this is going to be great. This gave us one news story. Like, this could have paid some writers like me, paid our salary for weeks, possibly months, if they'd broken loose a really nice juicy flame war.
Well, the masturbating monkeys thing didn't come out again, did it? Which was interesting. Linus famously, and I think Theo can hold his own in a fight as well. I think he could.
This is what I get working in such an esoteric field. Like, if I was working at CNN, they shoot down a plane. You've got material for months. Aviation experts and shit.
Yeah, but how would kernel developers shoot down a BSD plane?
Linus needs to get an artillery battery and shoot on wherever the BSD. Well, the problem with these developers is they're so all over the planet. It's kind of
a conference. It'd have to be at a conference. That would be
exactly.
Not that I'm suggesting anything.
The OpenBSD, you know, they fly by LinuxCon in Düsseldorf and just carpet bomb the place.
Mm. Speaking of Linus and his you know, and the availability of bombs and missiles and stuff. The Linux Foundation posted a video of him showing everyone around his home office, and he's got one of those bloody desks with a treadmill on it.
Well, no, they've done this for all the other they've done this for Greg Crow-Hartman as well. Actually, I haven't seen that one, to see that one. That's going to be interesting. What do you mean he's got a desk with a treadmill? I've never seen this. I mean, I've seen standing desks. Yes, I think that's crazy. He's got a fucking treadmill.
Yeah, that is a thing that's been going on for a while.
What?
I mean, I've seen those before. I've never wanted to use one.
Work like that. No wonder he's so pissed off at people. I don't understand why his emails are so mad.
Because he's constantly running after his desk.
He's been walking behind his desk for 3 hours. I'd be pissed off. It's a wonder his fucking emails aren't punctuated with "come here, you bastard."
So
he keeps slipping off the keyboard.
So for anyone who we should describe, obviously you can watch the video. You can go and watch the video on. We'll post it. It's on YouTube. But he's got basically one of those standing desks that they have, you know, with the spring-mounted things that lifts it up. But it's got a treadmill. He's got a treadmill underneath. I've seen other people with those. I think it's a relatively new thing or whatever. But I always thought it was a bit of a. It is horrible. Yeah, I always thought it was a bit of a joke. I've only ever seen them on comedy programs where people are making fun of how stupid it is to have a desk with a treadmill on it.
Simpson, I think they had one of those at some point. This is ridiculous. This is, oh my god, I'd be so pissed off as well. Imagine we had to podcast like this. Imagine we were on a treadmill right now. How horrible would that be?
Fuck that. Yeah, fuck that.
No.
Yeah, he's also shown off his 3D printer. He's got a MakerBot.
Cool. MakerBot, although that's kind of evil, but not that Linus cares, you know.
No, he's famously a pragmatist.
I mean, I would be so. I mean, oh god, I was thinking at the beginning of the show, amazing it is that we've done 354 episodes. I mean, how awesome is that? But if I had to walk, I don't think I'd done 3. Like, if the alternative is either you walk while doing your work or you die 15 years earlier,
I think I'd just take it out.
I'll die 15 years earlier.
I mean, let's be honest, they're the worst years anyway. They're shit the last 15 years anyway. So you know,
exactly.
You know, you're too old to do anything decent. So I don't know. I know we shouldn't say that.
Just get some hookers in and die while you're 70. I mean, in style.
Maybe he can 3D print himself a desk without a fucking treadmill on it. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, interesting that they've done this with all, as you said, not all. They've done this with a lot of kernel developers. It seems to be mainly the ones they employ though that they have to do this. That don't have a choice.
Yeah, they have to
so the Linux Foundation employs Linus, obviously, and Greg KH and other developers as well. So they kind of don't have a choice. When the boss comes around and goes, "You're going to make a video about your office," that you have to.
I wonder
when Jim Zemlin turns up with his GoPro, you've got to do what he says. So, yeah.
I wonder if there's a Linux developer in a hamster wheel.
I want to see the opposite of this. You know, where you obviously. He must be a bit of a fitness freak or whatever to be doing this. I want to see the opposite. I want to see them go around to the guy who lies in a hammock all day with a crate of beer on his stomach and just cracks them open and he's drinking them while smoking a big cigar and then while smoking a cigar and then whatever, can't be asked to get up and just
he's one of those World of Warcraft chairs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you shit in. That's also a toilet.
Yeah.
That's my kind of kernel developer. Exactly.
Fair enough. So you can watch
another kernel patch. He says while crushing a can of beer. Actually, RMH in the IC asks, MakerBot is evil. Dude, Google MakerBot and patents. Basically, they got set up like with the, community behind them and everybody helping them and
patented the shit out of everything.
Yeah, patented the shit out of everything and pretty much.
Yeah, it's a bit controversial. Anyway, so if you want to watch that video of Linus Torvalds like marching on his desk, you can find a link in the show notes for this show at sixgun.org.
So mad.
Yeah,
Insane.
more news about the Linux project in Munich. What's going on here? It's more German news.
So the government switched in Munich. Yeah, more German news. German Linux news. So it used to be when they brought Linux in, which we talked about extensively. It's like the biggest IT deployment in a German city. It's like a pilot project. Huge. There used to be a Labour Party Green coalition, and now, of course, it changed. It's now Labour Party CSU, which is the Conservatives. But the new Labour Party mayor recently made news saying this Linux is crap, it doesn't work.
Wow.
And his deputy from CSU said the same thing. But now they've actually the Labour Party spokesperson came out and said no. Quote, our attitude to the subject matter hasn't changed. We don't want to change anything. They also denied that this political fire against Linux has something to do with Microsoft Germany moving its HQ from Unterschleißheim, which is a bit outside Munich, right into the city center of Munich in Schwabing. And the new SPD mayor, Dieter Reiter, actually said before the election he was part of a deal that made that happen. So people speculated that this deal was kicking Linux out and getting Microsoft back in.
It could be. I was just thinking when you mentioned that there'd been criticism, I just had images of. I know he's kind of left the company now, but I had images of like Steve Ballmer spitting out his drink and going, "Get the jet! We've got to get to Germany now. I can sell some licenses."
Bill,
get the jet!
Licenses and eat some bratwurst. Yeah, well, it's now Nutella's turn.
Right.
By the way, we didn't talk about this really, but he made a huge impact. They fired like every 8th employee at Microsoft. They fired a huge amount of people, mostly from the Nokia acquisition. So that worked great for Nokia. So Elop got that, ruined their stock price. The Microsoft bought them. Now they're laying all the people off. Surprise, surprise. But like Nutella has, I'm just gonna call him Nutella for more. It's such a better name. Nutella has axed quite a few divisions as well. Like stuff like the TV studio, the TV series thing for Halo that we're going to create and everything like that. So,
well, I mean, to quote Steve Ballmer's famous philosophy, embrace, extend, extinguish.
I thought you were going to say employees.
Well, no, there's that as well. No, I was thinking of his embrace, extend, extinguish with Nokia, in which case means send someone over to Nokia to take over. Let them fuck it up royally, buy them, and then do what you want. I don't know. It seems to be. So, what else have we got to mention? What's this boycott System D thing about? This is a website.
Have a look at that.
Yeah, boycottsystemd.org. I was looking at this before. I did look at the link. So basically, somebody doesn't.
This turned up last month. I'm just too late. I'm a bit late on the.
But does anybody care? Has anybody, even? I mean, it doesn't. It hardly seems to have started a fire in the, of activism against Systemd. I mean, some people who don't like Systemd will always come out and say that. My God, this is quite long, isn't it? There's 12.
I think it's too late because everybody has adopted Systemd. But I don't know. I thought some of the points people might want to read this. I'm gonna put a link in the show notes. People might want to read this and then discuss it in the saloon.sixgun.org. I don't know. There's some good points. Systemd is this all-encompassing thing that is no longer an init system anymore. That does everything. That does journal. That does device management, and it's now a hard dependency of GNOME, and it's kind of encroaching on everything. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, I've been saying for a while that this is Leonard's plan to take over Linux.
Well, we called it Pottering OS, didn't we?
Yeah, it's getting more true and true. I mean, systemd is great and does a lot of stuff, but it is his main point seems to be that it's very un-Unixy. And I
was going to say the main complaint seems to be that the whole Unix philosophy of do one thing and do it as well as you can doesn't really apply to systemd because it's trying to do lots of things and not just init stuff.
Well, also he says it's kind of the thing is, there's always this was the same with sysv init. Your init system is the first process that spawns everything. If that crashes, you're fucked. Right? Well, you can restart it and stuff, but the problem with systemd is there's even more stuff hanging off it. So you're even more fucked when it crashes. But when init crashed, I think you were fucked before, so I don't know.
Pretty much, yeah.
How good that point is. Also, some of his points are stupid. Like he says, there's not that many security problems with systemd so far, but there could be a lot in the future. Which is some of this obviously stupid. Also, I like that.
Sorry, go on.
No.
I was just going to say I like the disclaimer. We are not sysv init purists by any means. We do recognize the need for a new init system in the 21st century. Systemd is not it.
Well, I think they have a point, but the problem is also what I don't like is just they have just an email address on the site. It doesn't say who it is, why they're doing this, which is a bit weird. Of course, you can find out who it is. According to the Whois record, some guy called Billy Estes from Glasgow in Kentucky. So it's like Birmingham, Alabama. This is Glasgow.
Yeah, Glasgow, Kentucky.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's some points on there that I'd love to discuss this at some point. I'd love to get a show where we get some people on.
Yeah,
maybe a systemd opponent and
a proponent of it. Yeah, whatever the word is. Meanwhile, Laura Mann in the IRC says, by this argument, we should boycott Emacs as well. Meth and Tam.
Yes, we should. We fucking.
Well, I agree with that because I do boycott Emacs on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Not for that reason.
I've boycotted email. Emacs. Yeah, no, I can't do that. I boycotted Emacs since I switched to Linux. I think we should burn it to the ground, to be honest.
I use Vim mostly for a lot of stuff. Anyway, let's not get into that because that really is a flame war that could go on.
Sublime text.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Sublime.
So isn't that proprietary? Am I right in thinking Sublime Text, or have I mixed that up?
Yep.
I thought it was. Okay. So like Linus for this freedom-hating stuff.
It's awesome.
You're right on there.
Yeah, but I don't have a fucking desk where I need to walk while I write.
I'll agree with you on that. Finally.
After one day of that, I would stab somebody to death in the office with a spoon. No,
I think it's more of a gouge if you use a spoon.
Your point is why are spoons, sire?
Because
it hurts more! Epic Alan Rickman scene.
Yeah. So Vincent Untz has stepped down as the OpenSUSE chairman.
As he's known, Wunz.
Wunz, yeah. He says, I'm coming to you with some news. Due to some changes in my life, pretty good news, it says. You'll hear about that in a couple of months. I've decided
to get married.
Good for him. I've decided to step down from the chairman position.
Get married.
Yeah. I've decided to step down from the chairman position and adopt the missionary position. No, he doesn't say that. And adopt. No, sorry. It says it doesn't say I adopt at all. To step down from the chairman position, I now lost in my own joke. And he stepped down from the OpenSUSE board. It says, of course, we've been working on a transition, and a new chairman has been appointed already. But I'll leave this bit of news to the OpenSUSE board.
That's very Nazi Germany over at OpenSUSE, isn't it? I will step down because of changes in my life. We have already figured out who the successor will be.
Yeah, you'll be told in due course.
It's Mini Wunz.
And maybe it's his clone or something. I don't know. Yeah, so he stepped down as the chairman of OpenSUSE.
The second.
Yeah, long live. It's Kim Jong Un. It's going to come in. Kim Jong Un. Yeah, it's going to. He's going to step up. Have you seen? And they talked about it on. I know this is off topic. They talked about it on Hollywood Babylon, but that new Seth Rogen film. Apparently, Kim Jong Un has threatened to start a nuclear war if they release that film, because it's like a crime against. They see it as an act of war or something. Basically, Seth Rogen and I think James Franco's in it as well. Have made this film, which is a comedy where they play a couple of reporters who get the chance to go to North Korea to interview Kim Jong-un, who's the leader over there, and they are asked by the CIA or someone to assassinate him while they're there. So it's all about their, whatever. It's like a comedy basically, but it's about them having to go and try and assassinate. Meanwhile, just on the news of this film, the Korean North Korean regime have come out and said we will view this as an act of war if the film is released. So I don't know about you, but I really want to see that film now, just to see what it's like. Even if it's the worst film ever, it will get a lot of publicity off the back of this. Anyway, we got some.
I like what Ralph Garman said to Kev. He's like, great, your fucking buddy's gonna start a nuclear war and we're gonna be dead just because of his fucking film.
Yeah, that's true. Still,
I think the North Koreans haven't actually said that. I think it's just a very well executed PR campaign.
You think? Yeah, maybe. You mean they didn't come out and say it was inevitable? Inevitable. All right, okay. So, meanwhile, last story in the news this week: Mozilla have improved JPEG encoding. Apparently, how have they done that? So it says we're pleased to announce the release of Moz JPEG 2.0. Earlier this year,
we talked about that when they announced that. Can you remember when they announced that they're going to improve JPEG encoding? And I said, why the hell would you want that? Just use PNG, use lossless images.
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous. This is a fucking joke. This is like, it's gonna improve this file size by 5% on average. Like 5%. It's a fucking JPEG. It's like 2 megabytes. I mean, this is an age where half the internet is sucking down like trillions of terabytes of House of Cards every night, and they're worrying about a fucking JPEG.
Well, maybe Maybe they've been too.
There are animated GIFs on Google Plus that I can't fucking download because they're 80 megabytes or something.
I don't know. Maybe they've got their jogging desks turned up too high and they're a bit distracted. I'm not sure.
I think they head-butted their monitor.
Yeah, maybe.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's an odd one. JPEG's still very popular. I mean, I take your point that it's already quite small.
Can't they spend their money more? Their time more productively, like, for example, write a fucking browser that works. You're Mozilla. Stop wasting your fucking time with fucking JPEGs. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I have to turn this treadmill off. It's making me angry. The problem. I mean, I understand Facebook paid them to do this, and it kind of makes sense because for Facebook, like a 1 kilobyte, there's so many JPEGs uploaded to Facebook every
yeah.
It probably saves them $1 million a minute to save like $5 million a minute to save like 5% of size on JPEGs or something.
Yeah, with the amount of data they're shipping, you're right. Yeah. But who knows? People will just keep uploading those animated GIFs instead.
Can't they make it up in volume? Isn't that their business model?
It's at the oldie business. It's not the oldie business. All right, and so
JPEGs.
We should talk about some of the feedback. We've got
Use
some
PNG,
emails.
people.
We got quite a few emails to mention, so we should whiz through those before I melt. It's getting ridiculously hot in the studio now with all the computers on and the windows closed.
It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, well, I'm not taking off all my clothes, so don't worry about that. So yeah, we had one from Dale Visser who says apparently online music piracy isn't much of a thing in Germany. Sorry,
very quickly from the IC. Larry Cafiero says best part Linus's desk, the one he sits behind, like the actual real desk, is a holy mess, just like mine. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. It looks like my desk at work. It looks like the average CT desk.
Yeah.
It's like just piled with 20 centimeters of crap on it.
Yeah, mine is very much like that. I think my desk's got things living on it, probably, if I move stuff around too much.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. So.
Rise and fall.
Yeah. Dale Visser sent us an email. It says, apparently online music piracy isn't much of a problem in Germany, or isn't much of a thing in Germany, he says. He sent us a link to a news story, which I read earlier, which, to be honest, I wasn't exactly blown away by. It's from a place, it's from Vice.com, apparently. Motherboard.vice.com.
That is where you find quality
journalism. Yeah. Well, the way it's written tells you it's not exactly quality journalism.
There's one reporter who keeps taking drugs and then writes about it. That's pretty awesome.
I was going to say, what's wrong with that? Hunter Thompson, man.
One guy who did, he did like prostata massage, ejaculation.
Oh, prostate massage, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically shoving a finger up your ass, isn't it?
What do you call that?
Isn't it prostate massage or something? Prostate's basically in your ass or in your ass.
Yeah, and a picture of the towel afterwards as well.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I call gonzo journalism.
Exactly.
So,
Vice.com.
Yeah, the story from Vice.com anyway is it's about the shutting down of a large piracy operation in Germany, which seemed to involve much piracy of CDs, DVDs, and even vinyl, which I thought was interesting. So physical stuff, basically. But it goes on anyway in this article to claim that Germany still consumes more physical media with regards to CDs and DVDs and so on than
I believe
anywhere
that
else.
Because basically we're not anywhere else, but compared with the US, we're probably 5 years behind. Well, not we, but most of Germany. The same with everything, social networking, Twitter, Facebook. They're always 5 years behind, at least. It's also because we always get shafted by the American companies. Kind of.
Join the club.
Companies and by our own companies, because they always need to, say music streaming or video streaming, and they always need to work out the local deals. And because we're an economy not like lots of economies in Europe where they just show English stuff with subtitles, here they're always dubbed, and there are people that do the dubbing that want their own money, so they've got special deals, special contracts, so everything just takes longer to get here. Like Spotify took 5 years to get here compared to the US, to the UK.
It was quite popular in the UK. It's Swedish as well, isn't it, Spotify?
Yeah, but it's like everything just in Germany, everything like that just takes longer.
If you like some music,
yeah. Yeah, very special market here, yeah.
Anyway, we'll put the link in the show notes if you want to read it. I to be honest, I read this and I thought, I don't think that's a particularly German thing. I know, and I know, prepare your jokes about Liverpool now, but you can quite easily, you'll get offered people trying to sell you DVDs and CDs and things that are blatantly copied. And it happens all over the place. And on the news, you see, a guy's been busted in a warehouse with a shitload of duplicating machines and all the rest of it. I think physical piracy is still a reasonably popular thing.
Well,
certainly over here. Keep piracy real, man. Keep it real.
There's also a lot of digital piracy going on.
Yeah, there is. But I'm just.
I know that from a lot of experience working in tech support and in the field and working at an ISP, and let's not go into more detail.
So anyway, thank you to Dale Visser for that. He also said at the end of his email, as an American, I'm looking forward to less World Cup Outlaws. Wink. So there you go. No World Cup Outlaws this time.
Did you say you want more World Cup Outlaws?
I think he did, yeah.
Let's do some tactical analysis, game by game.
Lucky for you, Dale Visser, we're now going to do a 2-hour discussion about
Let's start with game one.
About the offside rule.
Let's talk about the American soccer team, as they call it.
Soccer. Oh, yeah.
Why they're so shit.
Hand egg. Let's talk about hand egg. Can we talk about that instead? Yeah. Anyway. So, thanks to Dale for that.
Baseball.
Yeah, I can't get into baseball.
All I know about baseball is from Babylon 5 and Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, probably films for me as well. And I don't know. I've never. Yeah, I mean, we have a game over here called Rounders, which is basically played in school by girls usually.
Cricket.
Yeah, we got cricket as well. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
even
But
worse. I don't understand that at all, and I've tried like for years. Like 7
I do understand cricket, but that's because I was brought up here.
on the 5, and she's got 7 overs for the 4.
Perfectly simple. Yeah, it's perfectly simple. And if it's a Tuesday, all the points are doubled. Unless it's the second Tuesday of the month, in which case they're not.
And then for
it's
some
very simple.
reason, they sit down and eat lime cake and drink tea.
Yeah, to be honest, any sport where you get to go off and have a meal in the middle and a drink and come back on later, and also you can just walk to the edge and get yourself a drink and an ice cream and stuff like you want. That's my kind of sport, you know. I mean, I'm up for it.
Exactly.
I mean, years ago, it's not that long ago, you'd see guys walking around smoking in the outfield, you know, talking to someone in the crowd, and like, you know, that's a sport in my view. Anyway, so never mind.
It's like fucking run Burgundy.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So we had an email from Dave71 who says, Dan and Fab. Actually, I think you replied to this, but I'll quickly read through it anyway. It says, I am several months behind on listening, and in an episode, Fab asked why Google would have bought Motorola, done nothing with it, and then sold it. Yeah, he says, I read somewhere in early 2011 that the CEO of Motorola Mobility, Sanjay...
This guy's living in the past.
Yeah, Sanjay Jha, or Jar, is it? Sanjay Jar? I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Jar, yeah. Was starting patent lawsuits against other Android device manufacturers. So yeah, we did talk about this.
I think a show later or something.
Yeah, so basically what he's saying is...
wrote in and said patents.
Yeah, basically I think what he's saying is the reason possibly that Google didn't want Motorola fucking up the Android world by going around suing everyone. So the easy thing to do was just buy them and shut them up. So he says, so maybe Google didn't buy Motorola to use the Motorola patents against Apple or Microsoft. Maybe they just bought them to stop Motorola from hurting other Android device manufacturers. Possibly, yeah. We still don't know for sure, but we'll know why they bought them. Who knows? Right then, so thank you for that one, Dave71. We had one from Torrin Doyle. It was very, very short email. It just says, I enjoy your show. And it says, what distro do you both use on your home computers?
Yeah,
do you want to go first?
Email. So this has changed. We talked about this about on the show, but it's ages ago, and it keeps changing, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
For quite a while now, I've been running Ubuntu with XFCE. On my work machine, on my laptop, on the studio machine I'm using right now, on my home desktop, and then I'm using Debian on my home server, and I'm also using Debian to run the 6gun page off. That's basically it.
Mine's very easy.
Katie is running Fedora, actually.
Okay. Mine's very easy to answer. I'm running, on the Icecast machine, I'm running Crunchbang, a very old version of Crunchbang Linux, which doesn't do anything other than serve
like
Icecast.
The first version.
It's 804, if I remember. It's based on, like...
The internet.
You what, sorry?
Is that connected to the internet?
Well, helpfully for the Icecast, yeah, it is.
It's behind a net, I hope.
Yeah, it is, yeah, it's behind a net, yeah. And to be honest, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't see anyone bothering to attack this now. You never know. And then most of my other machines. Yeah, well, fuck the NSA anyway. They can, they're going to find their way in. Yeah, and the rest of my machines are all Linux Mint, pretty much. I'm trying to think of other than Android devices, which probably don't count. Yeah, Linux Mint all over for me, really. These days, I mean, I've been through lots of different distros, but these days I quite like just using something that works, and Mint always works for me. And I've actually got Mint 16 on this laptop, so I need to update it.
This is
it's out of date.
the reason why I use Ubuntu. I just want something that works with me, personally.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, it makes sense. So I hope that answers your question a little bit. We move on to, and I'm going to get this name probably wrong, so I apologize. It's either Elijah Montgomery or Alicia Montgomery, and I don't know which one it is. Would you? Yeah, well, I would as well. But then it says Eli or Ellie. I don't know. It looks like Eli.
Ellie.
Anyway,
From
Ellie.
Minnesota.
Okay, so we'll say Ellie.
I'm talking in Minnesota.
I have no idea. We'll say Ellie, so I hope I don't get this wrong.
Where is Minnesota?
Isn't
it in the middle?
Isn't it in the south?
Yeah. No,
I think it's in the south somewhere. Yeah, south middle.
We know
Roughly.
so much.
Yeah, we know as much about American geography as Americans tend to know about ours. So it says, hey guys.
I just don't know where fucking Minnesota is, but I'm looking it up.
Isn't that where Prince lives? I think.
Prince?
Oh no, it's up Missouri. Yeah, Prince. He's like the.
It's next to one of the Great Lakes. It's at the top, the north, in the middle. It's pretty much in the middle, in the middle and the very north of the U.S. Next to Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Iowa.
I'm just quickly looking up.
The border with Ontario.
Yeah, Minnesota, Paisley Park. That's where Prince lives. He lives in this weird mansion called Paisley Park. It says it's in Chanhassen, Minnesota.
I hope it has Paisley patterns on it.
Well, he does love purple. He's famous for loving purple, so probably. It says he apparently
Holy shit! There's a town in Minnesota called Brainerd. It's Brainerd.
Wow,
Brainerd.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, so meanwhile, back at the email, it says, hey guys, I'm Ellie from Minnesota and have been listening to your show for about a year now. I had some feedback on the Linux Mint installer section, of all things. I wanted to mention that while I mostly agree that messing with a great installer is usually a colossal waste of time, there has been some good that's come out of it. For example, Snitchy, is that CNICHI, Snitchy? The
Knishi?
Yeah, Antergos. The Antergos installer is my favorite installer. It is beautiful, simple, and comes with a command line version if you want more control. It installs Arch with some custom theming, and when you're finished, your system is completely up to date, which might stink if you don't have a good internet connection. So while I don't agree so much on fragmentation, with so much fragmentation, I do like the benefits when someone has a clear purpose and the product shows it. It says, changing the topic a bit, you should try a game called Teleglitch. Never heard of it. You're the gaming guy, so this is your department. Teleglitch, which apparently is a well put together game that runs natively on Linux. I enjoy playing it while listening to the original Metroid theme in the background from YouTube. I used to love it.
Taste.
I remember Metroid. Yeah, that was a great game.
What? Teleglitch is. That looks really cool.
Okay.
It's 8-bit, kind of 8-bit. It's from Paradox.
Oh, okay.
The awesome game studio. They do Europa Universalis, and they have an edition. It's called Teleglitch Die More Edition. It's a rogue top-down shooter.
Okay.
This looks amazing. I'm gonna buy this on Steam right after the show.
Okay.
Thank you for that tip. Yeah.
It says, if you play this game, which it sounds like you're going to, it says, don't run away. You'll know what I mean when you play the game. Keep up the great work. Cheers. So, excellent. Thank you.
And it has an edition called Die More, so I'm guessing you die a lot.
Probably, yeah. I would imagine you probably do.
And Turgos, I've never really tried that, but I have a colleague at work, and she swears by that. She's a arch lady, hardcore.
An archer.
She always looks at me weird when she's like, I'm like, oh, I've got this problem on my work machine. It's like, I think it's an Ubuntu problem, and she just these days she just raises her eyebrow. Because we had this conversation in the past, and he's like, "Just use fucking Arch."
Okay. You have run. Yeah, I was going to say you have used Arch in the past.
It was brilliant, and then I broke it.
Then it broke.
Yeah. And then I couldn't be asked to set it up. Well, it didn't broke by itself. It was very much my fault. I messed around with it too much, I think. I remember. But then I couldn't be asked to set it up again. I just need the system quick, and
it takes some time to set up.
Supposed to be nice, and this installer, I looked at some screenshots. It does look really cool. It does look a bit like the new Anaconda.
Okay.
But it's the worst name ever. This is Charlie November Charlie Hotel India. CNCHI Knchi.
Snitchy.
What language is that?
I'm guessing probably
Anyway,
some Asian language, I would imagine.
back to Teleglitch. I like Telecasters.
Mhm.
I like roguelikes. It looks cool. I'm so gonna buy this.
Very cool.
This looks like something Dave would be interested in. Dave, are you listening? Teleglitch.
Right. Okay. If he's listening, then we'll find out. So, yep. Thanks for that one.
Well, tell him on Twitter as well.
Tell him to get off Dota 2, which is what he keeps fucking going on about.
Fucking Dota.
Yeah, it's all he goes on about. I've seen him discussing it with people, and I don't read through Twitter that much. Even I've seen him discussing it with people on Twitter.
He's such a Dota fiend.
Yeah. So we had an email from Phil Thompson in Peterborough, apparently in the UK, who says this is another follow-up to our discussion about kids being, arrested for murder and stuff. He says Dan's memory must be failing. Does he not recall the jailed 10-year-old murderers of James Bulger in Liverpool? And as I replied in email already, but I may as well say it publicly, I of course remember that case, as everyone does in Liverpool. But I was 11 years old when that happened, maybe 12, so I was basically almost the same age as the people involved. It was a horrific case. And
shouted at Dave on Twitter, by the way.
Okay. If you want to, there's a link in the show notes if you want to read up about it. Basically, I haven't mentioned it because I don't really want to even think about it or bring it up again because it's a black day in the city's history, if you like. Basically, the overview is that two, I didn't think they were 10. I thought they were a little bit older. I thought they were 11 or 12. But anyway, two kids basically abducted a toddler who was 2 years old from outside a shopping centre in Liverpool, and I do mean abducted him, like tortured him for 2 days and then killed him. And they went to jail, which, to be honest, the end results hasn't been very good because basically they're screwed as well for life. But I don't know, it's hard to defend jailing somebody who would do that, something so sadistic. Anyway, it's a complicated case, as I said, but I did think about it at the time, but I didn't really think it was worth bringing up in that context. You can go and have a look and find out from the link in the show notes. We got one from, now this is a good one. We got one from Max.
One thing I wanted to mention on that topic, by the way, because people seem to misunderstand this as well. I wasn't saying don't institutionalize those kids. I was just saying, and I wasn't saying just send them home, which I think you understood as well.
Yeah, well, you were saying they could go home with their parents, and I was thinking, no, they can't, because that's
yes. Because basically, that's kind of how it would work in Germany, because then they couldn't go home to their parents. Well, they could go home with their parents, but then they have to go into care.
Yeah,
right?
that's why. Yeah.
But my point was this is a different. I think there's a difference between the legal system in Germany and the U.S. In the U.S., they say I was taking issue with them setting bail. Setting bail means they're gonna get tried. At least in the German
I see,
system. Right. You can't that means you're gonna go to court and then possibly to prison. And even if that's not the case, even if you say, okay, they did a crime, we'll institutionalize them, and you can't send them home with their parents, you basically will send them to a hospital or an insane asylum, then you wouldn't set bail. Because setting bail means if you have enough money, you can go. Right?
Yeah, I suspect that is a difference in the legal systems, because that's definitely not the way it's seen in the UK anyway.
Yeah, well, even in the US, that wouldn't make sense to me, to you as well, because you said we shouldn't let them go home. But if you set bail, and they set it at $500,000 US dollars per girl, if the parents come up with $1 million, the girls could go home for a while.
You're right. The point of bail, you're right, is that if someone can pay it, they can leave. They don't have to be in custody until the trial.
I think it's kind of in the US, they kind of have to set bail.
Well, I was going to say I think they have to, which is why they set it so high, because to stop them paying it and whatever. It's very.
In Germany, they would just deny them bail.
Yeah. I'm not sure you can do that in the US.
And then we would shoot them in the head.
A very German solution.
Your bail has been denied. Oh, speaking about the World Cup, very quick.
Oh God, here we go. Where are we speaking about the World Cup? I don't know.
The Wolfenstein, the new Wolfenstein game?
Yes, I've seen ads for it everywhere.
The fake history trailer.
Oh, right.
This is this parallel universe, right?
Yeah.
Where the Nazis have won the war.
Mhm.
And there's this trailer, and it's like World Cup 1956 or something. And it's like a black and white newsreel, and it's like soccer players and or football players, as we would say, and one fouls the other, and you see the referee standing there, and you realize the referee has like an SS uniform and a cap on, and he shows the player the card, which you presume is red.
Oh, and then shoots them, wasn't he?
And then shoots him in the head with a Luger. But it's so well done that it actually looks like historic footage.
Wow. That's that's an interesting way to.
That's how we deal in Germany if you do something wrong. We just get shot in the head.
We've got a mention of something that you might find funny with relation to that coming up in a minute. So where are we?
Email is great. Max Kovgan says, I'm usually listening to the episodes walking home after work, or walking at work, if you're Linus. When I'm done, walking home after work, when I'm done.
Yeah, you're right. The extra word "while" I don't think should be in.
It's also the word "dumb" and "tired" is, I think, probably done. Anyway, he listens to the show when he was going home from work. However, during the last episodes, I was listening in my car when Fab exclaimed, "Okay, Google."
Just happened again.
Yeah, I repeated replaying 3 more times, and each time it died on me, leaving me dumb puzzled. This is when I remembered I had OK Google enabled on any screen on my phone. This is why you can do that to people when they're on the men's toilet and they're wearing Google Glass.
Oh, no.
They're just looking at their dick because they're peeing. You just say, OK Google, take a picture.
Email to everybody in the address book. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Okay Google. Show me some hardcore tentacle porn.
Yeah, enjoy that on your way home, Max. So thanks to Max for that one. An email. This is actually an email that came to me kind of personally, but I thought I'd include it. From Venkat Ramasamy, who is the lead developer of a project called Tenido.
Is he one of my countrymen?
Yes. Well, yes, he is. He's CEO of Tenido, actually, and I interviewed him on Floss Weekly a long time ago.
What's Tenido again? I've heard about it.
Tenido is one of these cloud distributions for.
Yeah.
So it's aimed at plug devices. So they had the Tenido plug, which you could put onto one of those plug computers.
What was that distro called? Wasn't there a distro for netbooks called
Tenido?
Something cloud?
There was.
Anyway,
I'm not sure. Yeah. So anyway, so Tenido basically is for your own cloud, to host your own personal cloud. But rather than using own cloud or something, you could use this on a plug device. The idea is it would be on a small, low-powered form factor. Tenido plug. Yeah.
I think I was mistaken. It was something else.
Well, anyway, the news that he emailed me about, which I thought people may want to know, is that they're releasing a version for the Raspberry Pi now of Tenido. So it's built for the Raspberry Pi, and you can install it easily on the Pi, and download the images and stuff, and you can run Tenido, run the distribution on there. It says Tenido will run on Raspbian and RaspBMC. RAS MBC, sorry.
I was confusing it with Jolly Cloud, by the way, which is something.
Oh, that's a different thing, yeah. So it says Tenido Personal Cloud Server. It says it's now available for your Raspberry Pi. It's free to download. So if you want to have a play around with it, you can do. They've got some interesting mobile apps and stuff. So if you can use, you can share your stuff easily from mobile devices and so on. It's a bit of a crowded kind of area that now, because you've got
bloody cloud everywhere.
Yeah. You've got your own cloud stuff. You've got other stuff going on, but it might be interesting.
I wrote this cloud storage article for CT,
Mm.
Of course, we also have pages for the articles in on the web, which has my email address next to it. And Jesus Christ, since I wrote this article and it got published, do I get a lot of PR spam
Oh, I
with
bet. Yeah.
cloudy goodness in it.
Cloud goodness. Yeah. I'm not surprised.
I also got a lot of emails from readers and a phone call today.
Really?
Well, yes. We at CT we have this thing. You can call the CT editors every day, from 1 till 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And ask them about the articles and stuff. And yeah, I got a reader called me up and asked me about Box Crypto, which is really cool.
Oh, okay.
And I already have an idea for my next Cloudy Cloud article, so I can get even more.
Nice. So they didn't just phone up to give you abuse, then? It's not like trolling. They don't phone up.
I haven't had that yet.
Okay. Well,
sometimes we have weird people calling.
Heavy breathing.
No,
I really like your article.
No, weird situation. No.
What do you wear when you're writing? Yeah.
Actually,
obviously in German.
On a fucking treadmill.
Yeah, sorry.
It's so fucking annoying. Anyway, more like weird people think they're getting spied on by their teeth, by things in their teeth.
Wow. Okay.
That.
Which of course they are. If they're listening to this, that's perfectly true.
Except I can't help them.
Probably not. No.
What I say, call the police.
Call the police. Yeah.
And then they say, "Well, I called the police." They're saying I'm insane. And then I'm like, I can't help you.
Call a dentist, maybe? If it's your teeth.
That's what I'm going to do next time.
Call a dentist. Yeah, have them look and sort your teeth out. Have them install you some analog teeth that will not have this problem.
Shit, I should hire you.
There you go. I've just solved that. Or even better, maybe get some lead lining around your mouth so that the signal can't get out.
That could go wrong.
No, that could go wrong. Anyway, last email, before we wrap this up and get out of here. We had an email from Lee who says, as someone with a healthy disinterest in football, I actually find World Cup Outlaws strangely therapeutic. It says, that first half hour just flew by. I was having a meal with a friend and he dropped the 7-1 Brazil thrash fest on me. Immediately, I pictured Fab bouncing off the walls all night. Now Germany have proven themselves the one and true master race with a football. Fab is going to be unbearable for pretty much the next 4 years minimum. Yeah, that's pretty true.
I was bouncing off the walls a lot, yes.
Yeah. They also say, more £20 sounds, please. Yes, well done.
Second that.
Track 3 was great, it says. If I've got the band/track mixed up or wrong, then profound apologies. To be honest, it's not. It was called Song 3, but it's hardly a great title, so don't worry about it. And you got the band name correct, so that's fine.
It'd be so amazing if it actually was. The song was called 20 Pound Sounds by Song 3.
By Track 3, yeah, or Song 3, maybe.
That's actually a good band name, Track 3.
Track 3, yeah. It says, incidentally, I bought a Raspberry Pi Model B a couple of weeks ago, and I'm already out of date. Shit.
I was actually noticing Fuzel had bought the B Plus like a day after the news came out. She had one. She posted a picture on Google Plus.
Okay.
Like, you're so fast. It's amazing. That's Fuzel from Octoprint.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not sponsored.
Which you're not sponsoring, although you've got Octoprint written on your microphone. Yeah, other projects are available. Yeah, so thanks to Lee for that one.
I don't think there is a second thing like Octoprint, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Other projects aren't available. So thanks to everyone for their emails. If you want to email us, you need to send it to linuxoutlaws@sixgun.org. That's linuxoutlaws@sixgun.org. And with that, I think we should play some music and get out of here because it's late and hot.
Track 3.
Track 3, yeah. This is by a band called Jimmy Carter, and it's a song called £20 Sounds. No, it's sorry, I've got that wrong. It's it's £20 Sounds, which is my band, and we're going to play. I don't think we've actually played this version on the show, which is surprising.
I think we've played the song, but not that version.
Not this version, no. So this is a song of ours called Jimmy Carter, which is about Jimmy Carter. Funny enough.
I like it. Also, it has facts in it. Surprising facts.
It has facts, yeah. Music with facts is a new genre that we're working on. Yeah, it's about Jimmy Carter, as I said. It's Creative Commons licensed, and I've had a few people like sending emails going, "Oh, that's really good. How do I hear more of that?" And I'm not making that up. People have actually said that to me. So just go to 20lb, that's £20, 20lb.bandcamp.com, and you can get the whole album there. You can even just listen to it if you don't want to buy it. You can listen to the whole album on there, so you can do that. So if you want to hear more of it, don't wait for us to play more of it on the show.
Hear more of that amazing fact-based music.
Yeah, that's true. All right, and so with that, we should play this and probably get out of here.
Songs like humans usually have 20 primary teeth and 32 permanent adult teeth. That's your next song there.
Yeah, I'll work on that one.
Humans usually have 20 primary teeth.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to try and work into a catchy tune. We'll have to see how we do. It might have to be jazz, I think, with that kind of information. Anyway, so this is £20 Sounds with Jimmy Carter. You can find out more at 20pound.net, 20lb.net, or head on to Bandcamp. And with that, we're going to get out of here. So thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time, where hopefully we won't have melted.
Exactly. I only have one more thing to say. Get off that fucking treadmill!
Jimmy Carter was a peanut farmer from way down in southwest Georgia. Town of Plains is where he was born, yeah. He joined the Navy and set out on the water. Jimmy, whoa, Jimmy, yeah, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy is a man with honors. He got a Nobel Peace Prize and a Grammy gong, yeah. The brightest day for old Mrs. Gotti is when her son was crowned Jody. Jimmy, whoa, Jimmy, yeah, Jimmy Carter. and the water. Jimmy, what Jimmy, yeah, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy, what Jimmy, yeah, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah,
The only guy who can play harmonica on a computer mouse.
on a mouse. Yeah, it's a mouse
12
moniker.
feet.
It's my. I nearly used this one, but that's the wrong key, so I have to grab the other one. That's the only problem. You've really got to work these things. Actually, do you know, I've just realised there is actually a harmonica here. I could have done some. This has got an awesome chromatic harmonica. I could have done some miming with that.
It's huge.
Yeah. I can't really play it very well. You have to actually know how to play these things, probably. It can play any note basically, so you don't need different keys.
Play the brown note.
You can actually play out of tune, which is not usually possible with a harmonica, because you've got this sharps and flat thing. Yeah, it sounds awful. Yeah, actually, to be honest, I wonder if it's a bit warped or something. You can do jaws on it, but you can't do it on a normal harmonica. That's not really jaws, is it? Anyway, never mind. Yeah, I'll keep working on that one for next time. In the meantime, don't hold your breath.
You should play the intro live on a harmonica. That would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe not this one though. Maybe one I can actually play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could give it a go.
Title, by the way.
Go on.
It's Kim Jong-un's.
Ah, I like that. Yeah, that's good. It's good. All right then. It's getting late, even later for you. So let's kill the streams and stuff. Also, it's too damn hot, man. I'm melting. So I'm gonna stop this.
The stream.
Thank you, everyone.